As the colonists of Lunar Base 1 navigated the challenges of their mission, they were not just scientists and engineers, they were pioneers with dreams and fears that shaped their reality. Each of them had come to the moon with their own motivations, their own stories that intertwined with the mission. Dr. Mara Hensley, a woman whose childhood was filled with dreams of space exploration, carried the weight of those dreams on her shoulders. Raised in a small town in rural Ohio, Mara had always gazed at the night sky, captivated by the stars that seemed to promise adventure beyond the mundane. From a young age, she had devoured every book she could find on astronomy and physics, drawing constellations in her notebooks and imagining herself as an astronaut traversing the cosmos. Her education was marked by excellence. She earned scholarships that propelled her into prestigious universities, where she thrived in the competitive world of astrophysics. Yet even as she climbed the ranks of academia, a sense of isolation crept in. The more she learned, the more she felt the weight of humanity's limitations, the realization that the universe was vast and filled with secrets that might never be uncovered. Her decision to join the lunar expedition was fueled by the desire to break through those limitations. She envisioned the moon as a stepping stone, a place where humanity could establish a foothold and reach for the stars. The opportunity to be part of a groundbreaking mission felt like the culmination of her life's work. But it also carried with it an undercurrent of fear. As much as she longed to explore the unknown, there was always the question of whether humanity was truly prepared for the mysteries that lay beyond their reach. Dr. Ray Maddox, her closest colleague and confidant, brought his own perspectives to the mission. With a background in theoretical physics, Ray had always been fascinated by the nature of reality itself. He was a dreamer, but he was also a skeptic, often questioning the implications of their discoveries. His childhood in a bustling metropolis, filled with towering buildings and the hum of life instilled in him a thirst for understanding the universe's underlying principles. Ray often contemplated the fundamental questions of existence, what lay beyond the observable universe, and what were the limits of human perception. The duo's dynamic was symbiotic. While Mara was driven by the desire to explore, Ray provided the analytical perspective necessary to keep their ambitions grounded. Together, they formed a powerful team that pushed the boundaries of their research, unearthing discoveries that filled their hearts with both wonder and dread. As they delved deeper into the mysteries of the moon, they encountered strange phenomena that defied their understanding. Anomalies in the lunar gravity, shifts in time perception, and disturbances that suggested an intelligence watching from the shadows. The other colonists at Lunar Base 1 were a diverse group, each adding to the intricate tapestry of their mission. Dr. Lin Cheng, the base's psychologist, brought a critical understanding of the human psyche to the team. Her background in behavioral science and her keen observational skills allowed her to grasp the subtle changes in the colonists' mental states. As the pressures of isolation took their toll, Lin became a confidant for many, providing a listening ear for those grappling with fear and uncertainty. Her own journey to the moon was marked by tragedy. Lin had lost her sister in a car accident years earlier, an event that left her grappling with grief and existential questions. She had joined the lunar mission in search of a fresh start, a way to put her past behind her and focus on the greater purpose of exploration. But as the strange occurrences on the moon intensified, Lin found herself drawn into the emotional turmoil of her fellow colonists. The shadows of the moon seemed to resonate with her own pain, amplifying the fears that had haunted her for so long. The colony's engineer, Max Torres, was a pragmatic and resourceful individual whose work was essential to maintaining the base's life support systems. His cheerful demeanor and can-do attitude made him a favorite among the colonists. Yet beneath the surface, he struggled with the burden of responsibility. Max had left behind a family on Earth, and each day he felt the weight of their expectations pressing down on him. The further they delved into the mysteries of the moon, the more he questioned the consequences of their ambitions. The accidents that occurred in the reactor room felt like warnings to him, omens of what lay ahead if they continued to push the limits of exploration. As they began to uncover the moon's deeper secrets, the bonds between the colonists strengthened. They shared moments of laughter and camaraderie, but those moments were often overshadowed by the growing tension and unease. The hum that resonated through the base became a constant presence, a reminder that something was watching, waiting. The colonists began to feel the strain of living in a place where reality itself seemed to twist and turn, where the line between perception and the unknown blurred. Mara and Ray's work continued to reveal troubling data, their instruments picking up fluctuations in electromagnetic fields that suggested a conscious presence. The scientific implications were staggering, yet the emotional toll was equally significant. As they pieced together the nature of the entity that watched them from the shadows, they confronted a chilling reality. They were not alone, and their intrusion into the moon's hidden depths had consequences far beyond their understanding. On one particularly harrowing night, the colonists gathered in the common area to discuss the recent events. Tension crackled in the air as they shared their experiences, revealing the dreams and visions that had begun to haunt them. Max spoke up, his voice shaking slightly as he recounted a dream where he stood at the edge of an endless chasm, a dark void that seemed to call out to him. Lynn listened attentively, her brow furrowed with concern, while Ray's analytical mind sought to find logical explanations for their shared experiences. Mara felt a growing sense of urgency as she listened to their accounts. What if these dreams are more than just our minds reacting to stress? She proposed. What if they're messages from the entity? A way for it to communicate? The room fell silent, the implications of her words hanging heavy in the air. Lynn exchanged glances with the others, her intuition telling her that there was more to this than mere coincidence. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," she said. "If we can't grasp the nature of this presence, we may be endangering ourselves." The discussion quickly spiraled into heated debate, with some advocating for further exploration of the entity, while others argued for immediate evacuation. The fear of the unknown fueled their anxiety, and it became evident that the colonists were divided. Each person wrestled with their own demons, haunted by the choices they had made in the pursuit of knowledge. As the situation reached a boiling point, Mara suggested they conduct one final experiment, an attempt to communicate directly with the entity using their advanced technology. The idea was met with trepidation, but a core group, including Ray and Lynn, rallied around her proposal. They believed that understanding the entity could hold the key to averting disaster, to making sense of the chaos that had begun to envelop them. Days turned into weeks as they prepared for the experiment, setting up a complex array of sensors and generators in the observation dome. The air was thick with tension, and uncertainty hung over them like a storm cloud. As they activated the equipment, the familiar hum returned, resonating through the dome with increasing intensity. Shadows danced around them, flickering like fireflies in the darkness, and for a moment, the world fell silent. Then it happened. The entity manifested once more, a shimmering presence that filled the space with a powerful energy. It pulsed with an otherworldly light, its form shifting and swirling like a living nebula. Mara felt the weight of its gaze, a profound intelligence that reached deep into her being. In that moment, she understood that this was not merely an alien force. It was something ancient, something that existed outside of time and space as they knew it. Images flooded her mind, visions of stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and falling, and the cyclical nature of existence. It was as if the entity was revealing the interconnectedness of all things, the delicate balance that held the universe together. But beneath the beauty of these visions lay a warning, a sense of urgency that pulsed through her very core. "You have entered a realm beyond your comprehension," the entity seemed to convey. "Your curiosity has awakened forces that must be respected. To proceed is to risk unraveling the fabric of existence." Mara's heart raced as she grasped the implications. They had crossed a threshold, and now they faced a choice that could alter the course of humanity. The entity's warning echoed in her mind, a reminder of the price of their ambition. As the vision faded, the room erupted into chaos. Some colonists shouted in fear, desperate to leave the moon behind, while others argued for the importance of understanding the entity. In the midst of the turmoil, Mara and Ray struggled to keep the group focused. They needed to make a decision, and quickly. "Listen!" Mara shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. "We have a choice to make. We can leave, or we can stay and try to understand what we've awakened. But we need to do it together, and we need to respect the forces at play." With that, the group fell silent, their eyes fixed on her. The tension in the air shifted, replaced by a shared understanding of the gravity of their situation. After a tense deliberation, the colonists voted to stay, resolved to uncover the mysteries that lay beneath the moon's surface while respecting the entity that had revealed itself to them. In the days that followed, they began to conduct a series of experiments designed to establish a dialogue with the entity. They set up intricate systems of communication, utilizing electromagnetic signals and sound waves, hoping to decipher its language. With each attempt, they felt the presence of the entity more strongly, as if it were guiding them through the process. As they delved deeper, they uncovered more about the entity's nature. They learned that it was a guardian of sorts, a sentient force that existed to maintain the balance of the cosmos. It had watched over the moon for eons, protecting it from intrusions that threatened to disrupt the delicate equilibrium of existence. The colonists' presence had stirred something deep within the lunar surface, a potential cataclysm that could echo across the universe. But with this knowledge came a deeper understanding of their own ambitions. The colonists realized that their pursuit of knowledge had led them to tread dangerously close to the edge of destruction. They could not ignore the consequences of their actions. They had to find a way to make amends. Mara and Ray led the charge to develop a plan, one that would involve a ritual of sorts, a way to honor the entity and the balance it maintained. They proposed a ceremony that would acknowledge their intrusion and offer a gesture of respect, a promise to uphold the sanctity of the moon and its secrets. On the chosen day, the colonists gathered in the observation dome, their hearts heavy with a mix of hope and apprehension. They arranged crystals and artifacts in a circle, symbols of their intent and humility. As the ceremony commenced, they chanted words of reverence, a collective expression of gratitude for the entity's presence. In that moment, the air around them crackled with energy, and the entity manifested once more, its form radiating warmth and acceptance. Mara felt a wave of emotion wash over her, an overwhelming sense of connection that transcended words. They were no longer mere explorers. They were part of something greater, a tapestry of existence woven together by threads of intention and respect. As the ceremony concluded, the entity pulsed with light, and for a brief moment, time seemed to stand still. The colonists felt an infusion of knowledge, a glimpse into the nature of reality itself. They understood the price of their ambition, but they also recognized the potential for growth and understanding. The experience bonded them in ways they had never anticipated, forging connections that would last a lifetime. In the aftermath of the ceremony, a palpable change settled over Lunar Base 1. The atmosphere shifted, the weight of uncertainty lifting. The colonists resumed their work with a renewed sense of purpose, their ambitions tempered by the lessons learned from their encounter with the entity. They approached their research with a spirit of collaboration, focusing on the harmonious coexistence of humanity and the mysteries of the cosmos. As months passed, the legacy of Lunar Base 1 began to evolve. They documented their findings and shared them with the scientific community, establishing a foundation of knowledge that respected the balance of exploration and reverence. The story of their encounter with the entity became a beacon for future explorers, a reminder of the delicate threads that connect all beings in the universe. Mara found herself at the forefront of this new movement, advocating for a philosophy of exploration that embraced humility and respect. Her lectures resonated with students and scientists alike, sparking conversations about the ethical implications of space exploration. She understood that the moon was more than just a destination. It was a mirror reflecting humanity's own potential for growth and understanding. In the years that followed, humanity's gaze turned once again toward the stars. New missions were launched, but they were approached with a renewed sense of caution. The lessons learned from Lunar Base 1 became ingrained in the culture of exploration, shaping the way future generations viewed their relationship with the cosmos. As Mara stood on Earth, looking up at the moon, she felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. The shadows of the past had been transformed into a source of inspiration, a reminder that the universe held both beauty and danger. Humanity had taken its first steps toward a more enlightened approach to exploration, and while the journey was far from over, the foundations laid by the colonists of Lunar Base 1 would resonate through the ages. The moon continued to shine brightly in the night sky, a sentinel watching over those who dared to dream. Its surface held secrets waiting to be uncovered, but now humanity approached with reverence, understanding that some mysteries were best left untouched. The legacy of Lunar Base 1 became a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration, a story woven into the fabric of time, a reminder that the price of tomorrow lay in the choices made today.